So before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. And home services is really whatever you need done in or around your house, shoveling snow, changing light bulbs, whatever you need. And you can access all of this by calling one number, and that phone number is 855-464-6872. We also have a referral program. So if you go to the bottom of your GoGo receipts, there is a code. If you give that code to your friend, once they've taken their first service with GoGo, you will both receive $10 in credit. So just a nice win-win. If you ever feel like you want to continue any of our conversations online or connect with other GoGo members, you can find us on Facebook, and we'll share a link in the chat so you can go there and just see how other members are using GoGo. Alrighty, and now to the meat of the program. If we haven't met, I'm Adra. I teach the functional fitness class and the yoga class here at GoGo, and we alternate Wednesdays and Fridays, whether it's functional fitness and yoga, but we're here every Wednesday and Friday. What do we need today? So our functional fitness class, sorry, just whacked the mic. Sorry if that made a really loud noise. Our functional fitness class is primarily standing, but we do sit, and it's a little more strenuous than our yoga class. So if you've been to the yoga class, this class is more strenuous, but you're always welcome to take breaks, have a seat, skip anything. We do use a chair here and there. So I've got a chair here behind me. I have a chair that doesn't have armrest, doesn't matter so much, just something that's sturdy and safe. We sometimes use wall space, and we also use a light pair of weights. If you do not have a light pair of weights, that is okay. You could grab some cans, some water bottles, or you can just imagine that you're lifting weights, and just the thought process of trying to imagine that you're lifting something heavy will create more muscle engagement. So you do have that option. So grab your weights or water bottles or cans if you'd like. And that is all we need. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see a few new messages. Marianne's saying she can't get sound. So if she can't get, let me see if Marianne's still here. Maybe I'll answer that for everyone. Or I'll let you, V, maybe I'll let you answer Marianne, just to like double check and make sure that she has her. Sometimes we forget to put our sound up. I've done that before where I'm like, oh, I can't hear anyone. It's because I haven't actually put my sound up. Or troubleshoot that. And then Pamela, now you should be able to see me. So the first few minutes of class, you can't see me because I'm sharing a big screen, but now you should be able to see me nice and big. And if you cannot see me nice and big, you can adjust your settings. So sometimes your settings will override whatever settings we have. So if for some reason you can't see me nice and big, what you need to do is move your cursor to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen, and a little box will pop up, and that box will say view. If you change the view to, if you change the view to speaker, you'll be able to see me nice and big. If you do it in gallery, you'll see everybody else. And then I'm just gonna double check the grid. Okay, awesome. All of that is done. I was just moving my mic. That's why I was doing funny things there on the ground. Let's start standing. So my weights are off to the side. Let's come to a nice standing position. Let's do some big shoulder rolls back. If you want to do this seated for whatever reason, that's totally fine too. And let's do some big shoulder rolls forward. So just a reminder that this is your time and your practice. So if you ever need to modify, please listen to your body. Make this work for you. All right, let's let those shoulders relax. We're going to do a few squats. Nice and small, don't need to make them really big. We'll inhale, bend the knees, arms can come forward, and then straighten, lower the arms. Inhale as you bend, we'll just show a side view, and exhale as you straighten. A couple more times. I'm just gonna adjust this so you can see my feet a little bit better. So a couple more squats. Inhale as you bend, exhale as you lift. You can make this as big or as small as you want. We're just waking up the body, noticing what's going on, How do we feel? And then coming back up to center, let's inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms lower back down. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, arms lower down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms circle out and up. And exhale, lowering down. All right, we're gonna test our twist today, or our ability to rotate. So we're gonna take our arms in front of us and touch the palms. So my hands are about shoulder height and my palms are touching. If for some reason this isn't possible, you could have your arms bent and your arms kind of in front of you with a 90-degree bend. All right, from here, feet can be, let's take our feet together, or as close together as you can, having balance. And then you're going to rotate your body. So you can let your entire body go, rotate, and have a look at how far your hands go, right? So your hands are going to be your measuring tape. So have note, okay, how far do your arms go? Take note of where that is, because we're going to retest this later, see if we can improve it. And then twist the other way. So twist, feet are together, arms are going. So we're just seeing how far do the arms go, and we're using our fingers as our measuring tape. And you can always close an eye and then close the other, and that'll sort of give you the sense of where you are if you're sort of seeing double. So we have our two spots. Come back to center, release the arms, shake it out. We're gonna do some head and neck motions and then some eye exercises. This can be done seated or standing. So especially if you're feeling a little wobbly, here's a nice time to have a seat and take a little break. Otherwise, you can stay standing. We're gonna start by just rotating the head. So you're gonna rotate the head, no. So you're just gonna turn the head right and left. So I was touching my chest because I'm trying not to move anything at my rib cage level, and only moving at my cervical spine or the spine of the neck. And then go ahead and nod the head yes, so looking up towards the ceiling and down to the ground. And again, we're trying to move just the neck part of the spine. And then back to center. Let's bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Let's pause here for a few moments, take a few deep breaths. And then other ear to shoulder. And again, pause for a few moments, take a few deep breaths. And then bring your head back to center. Now we're going to do a little bit of eye movement. So now the head will not move. We're going to move our eyes. We're going to use our thumb to help us. If for some reason that doesn't work, you could grab a hold of a pencil or a pen to use as your marker to follow. So I'm going to bring my arm in front of me. I'll come a little closer to the screen so you can see better. So thumb in front of me. I'm going about eye level, but centered, right? So I'm not down at the nose and I'm not up at the forehead. I'm between the eyes, and then bringing the arm in front of me. Looking at your thumb here, I'm going to do a slight, see if we can do this so you can see my eyes. So I'm looking at my thumb, and then, so with a straight elbow, look at your thumb. And then you're going to move your thumb towards you. You're going to let your eyes focus on the thumb. The moment your thumb turns into 2, you're going to stop and then bring the thumb back out. So we're moving the thumb towards us and then away from us. You're just going to follow that a few times. If for some reason doing eye movements causes migraines or dizziness, just skip this and go back to doing some neck stretches. Maybe do 1 or 2 more. And then reaching that thumb forward, you're focusing on the thumb. Head does not move. So this is where it gets hard. If you need to, you can put your hands on your head and try not to let it move. Your thumb is going to go to one side. Your eyes are going to follow. This sometimes is hard with glasses. So if you can see well enough without glasses, you could take your glasses off. And then thumb goes to the other side. Yeah, because with my glasses, sometimes I start to see double when my eyes are going too far to the side. So Thumb is going side to side, and you're just following it with your eyes. All right, and then bringing your thumb back to center. Taking those feet back together, try and find that same spot that you were in. So if you haven't moved, don't move again. If you have moved, that's okay. Try and come back to that place where we did that test of that rotation. Bring those hands together, and we can also go by feel. And then twist, rotate your spine, see if you've gone any further. So I haven't gone a lot further, but I've gone maybe a couple of inches further, so I'm twisting a little bit further. And then from here, turn your head over your back shoulder and see if that allows you to go even further. Right, so if we let our head move, usually we get more motion. Come back to center. First, don't move the head, right? We're just moving that the arms with the torso and the hips. So twist, see. Oh wow, so on this side, I've gotten way further. Really interesting. So I'll be curious to know if you've noticed any difference. And then let your head look over your back shoulder and see if that allows you to go even further. And then come back to center, release, shake it off. So anyways, for me, that's quite incredible. The fact that we just did a few neck stretches, some eye movements, and then suddenly our entire body has more range of motion. I think it's just really cool. So I'll be curious to hear at the end of class if you found anything interesting there. All right, let's go ahead and grab our weights now. And let those palms face forward. We're just gonna go really simple here and go into some bicep curls. So why did that other exercise work? Our eyes are almost like nervous system tissue, if we think about it. They're sort of kind of part of our brain tissue, or they develop from the brain tissue. And our nervous system is a big part of how our body moves. So if the nervous system isn't happy, then it's harder to have good motion or full range of motion because there's some sort of protection potentially happening, or your body just doesn't feel like it's in a state that it can move that far. So it's really fun to see that how our eyes really help our bodies move further. And you can play with that with all sorts of motions where you do the exercise without moving your head and eyes, and then do the exercise again, but then allow your head and eyes to move in whatever direction you're trying to go, and that'll likely allow you to go a little bit deeper. So that's what that was about. Let's do a couple more. All right, and then let those arms relax. We're gonna go into some squats. You can do this with or without weights. We did squats earlier without weight, but we'll have the weights now. So you can bring the weights by your chest if you want. Let's take those legs wider. We're gonna go into sumo squats. So that's just wide-legged squats. So feet are going wider than your shoulders. Toes can point slightly out. And then we bend the knees, hips go back, and we come up. So it's not a plie. So I'm gonna show you from this side. A squat, we let our hips go back, right? So we can see that my hips are going back behind me. Versus a plie is when we keep our head above the hips, right? So we're letting ourselves go into the more squat position. The squat position is just a little bit more functional, right? It's more likely that we're going to bend over to pick something up in a squat than in a plie where our torso is upright. Doesn't mean it's bad to do the other. We sometimes do the other, but allow your hips to really go back and your torso can come forward to counterbalance the weight of the hips. Couple more. And come all the way up. Let those arms relax. Take your legs together. Shake it off. All right, we're going back to those bicep curls. So we're just repeating them. So palms face forward, elbows are close to your body. And we bend the elbows, hands come by the shoulders, and then lower down. If you don't have weight, imagine that you're trying to lift something heavy and then really slowly try and lower it down. You can even do that if your weights feel too light for you. If you imagine that it's heavy, it's going to feel harder. You can create that. Watch that you're also not swinging your arms, so none of this is happening. Right, that's just using momentum to move the arms. And that's okay, there's nothing particularly wrong with it. But let's see if we can create that stability in the upper arm as we move the lower arm or the forearm. Couple more. All right, let's go back to our sumo squats. Weights can come by the chest, or you can put your weights down. Legs go wide, wider than the shoulders, toes point slightly out, heels are slightly in. We bend the knees, hips go back, torso can come a little forward, and then we rise. Keep going. If you want to add your breath, inhale on the way down, exhale as you rise. All right, finishing that up, coming up, take your legs together, shake it off. We're gonna put our weights down for a little bit and make your way somewhere where you can hold onto something for balance support. So you can come behind your chair, you could find a wall, you could find a table. I'm facing sideways simply so you can see better. You can keep facing your computer screen, so you don't need to move. We're gonna do some balance work. We have lots of phases of balance today to work on. So we'll start just feet together. And we already sort of did that when we were doing the twist, but let's start with our feet together. Hands can rest by your side. Looking straight ahead first, and just see, how is your balance with your feet together? So your base of support is much smaller than if your legs were wide out. So just noticing, what is the base of support when it's small? How balanced do you feel? If this is hard, just stay here. If you want a tiny bit more challenge, you're going to close your eyes. So this is stage one. You can always come back to this challenge, right? And even if this feels very doable, you might find that your body sways, and that's normal, that's okay. Right, so you're noticing, how does your body adjust without the use of your vision? So vision goes away, what is your balance like? And then open up the eyes if your eyes are closed, and let's put our hands on our support. Let's step the right foot in front of the left foot so that you're standing on a tightrope. So this is our next level. You can keep holding on. Or maybe you hold on with just one hand. Maybe you hold on with one finger. Maybe it's your pinky finger. Or maybe you're not holding on at all. Your hands are hovering, ready to grab on if you lose your balance. It's fine to lose your balance. In fact, it's important to lose the balance, but catch yourself. So finding a position that is challenging, but not so challenging that you'll hurt yourself. So challenging enough that, oh, I might wobble, have a hard time, have to catch myself. Maybe I step out of the pose and then come back, but not so hard that you think you're gonna fall. So we're looking for that. And this might not be hard enough yet, don't worry, we're gonna get harder. Hands back to your support, and we'll switch. So other foot comes in front. So for me, left foot comes in front, right foot behind. We're standing on a tightrope. We're holding on with two hands, or one hand, one finger, or no hands. And again, let yourself find something that is challenging, that is hard, but not unsafe. All right, hands back to your support, feet come together. Now we're standing on one foot. I'm gonna lift my right foot off the ground. You can do whatever you want. We're standing on our left foot or the other foot. We're gonna do both sides. You're holding on to your support with two hands one hand, or no hands. Again, find that challenge that's right for you. And if this feels impossible, go back to the previous one where we're standing on a tightrope. If that felt impossible, go back to standing with your feet together and your eyes closed, right? So we have lots of levels and every day is different. So honoring wherever you are today. Hands come back to your support. Let's switch feet. So standing on your other foot or just switching, finding a new position that's different. Holding on with two hands, one hand, one finger, no hands, whatever level you need. And go ahead and release. Take that foot down, shake out the legs. All right. To prep for the next exercise, we're going to play with some motion of our pelvis. So I'm just going to tuck my shirt in so you can see my hips a little bit better. So let's bend our knees a little bit. And we're going to see how we can move our pelvis without necessarily moving the upper part of the spine. You can hold on to your chair here. So upper half of the spine is not moving. It's just going to be the lower half. We're going to tuck the tail under. So you're going to squeeze your glutes and find a little tuck of the pelvis. So if you think about your tailbone, your tail is going between the legs. And then you're going to stick your tail out behind you and arch your low back. I'm going to lift my arms so you can see better. You can keep holding on to your support. So we're tucking the tail. Upper body tries not to move. We're scooping that belly. So we're feeling the abdominals, the lower abdominals engage. Our tail is tucked. The pubic bone moves towards the belly button. And then we do the opposite. The pubic bone moves away from the belly button and the tail reaches back behind us and up. So just do that a few times. We're tucking and untucking the tail. It's going to come in handy here in a minute. When I say tuck your pelvis, that's when I mean tuck your tail. Tail goes between the legs. When I say untuck, I mean tail goes back behind you. You're spreading your sits bones and your tail is reaching to the wall behind you or to the ceiling. 2 or 3 more. And this might feel really hard, especially if it feels like your entire body wants to move with it. That's okay, right? We're teaching our body to move in different ways. All right, and then we're going to come to stand. Now, we're adding a balance to this exercise. If that's too much, you can go back to the previous types of balancing we were doing. You can go back to playing with that tucking and untucking of the pelvis. What we're going to do now is combine balance with some hamstring work and pelvis positioning. So I'm going to stand on my left foot. We're going to bend our right knee, taking the right foot behind us. So take a moment here to watch that your knee could come forward. Your knee could go back behind you. I want your knees to be directly next to each other. So if you need to, look down. Look down at your knees, and your knees are next to each other. And they're not necessarily touching. There may be anywhere from touching to 5 inches apart. It just depends on your legs. But I don't want your leg to be out to the side, right? So they're directly next to each other, right to left, and they're parallel. And they're also forward and back directly next to each other, right? So my thighs are next to each other. From there, you might have noticed something happened in your spine. Try and keep your upper body still. Try and keep your leg where it is, and then tuck your tail under. So you're thinking tailbone reaches down towards the ground, pubic bone moves towards the belly button. Leave your leg where it is. You should start to feel your hamstrings. If you don't feel your hamstrings yet, maybe you bend your knee a little bit more. Only to whatever degree you can. I know this is a lot, right? We're working this leg, but you're also balancing and working the other leg. We're going to get a chance to do it again. So let's take a break, bring the leg down, shake it off. We'll do the other side, then we'll do both sides again. So if you missed anything along the way, that's fine. All right, so now we're standing on the right foot, bending the left knee. I'm going to go through all of the explanation again in case you missed any of it. Knees are next to each other front to back, right? So that left knee isn't forward, it's not way back behind you, they're right next to each other. You're also not letting that leg go way out to this side. That's just a different exercise. I like the knee bent about 90 degrees, but you can play around. Once you're in that position, try and keep the leg where it is, but then drop your tail. Tuck your pelvis under, bring your pubic bone towards your belly button. Try to keep your upper body still. So what I sometimes see when that happens is this. That's trying to avoid using those muscles. You're moving the motion somewhere else. So don't let those ribs pop up. Ribs stay relaxed. tail tucks under, knees are next to each other. And then if you need more, you just bend that knee a little more, bringing the heel closer to your glutes. Keep thinking, pubic bone to belly button, tail drops down, ribs are relaxed, knees are next to each other. Whew. Release, shake it off. Let's do a little stretch before we do that again. So we'll walk those hands on the chair, walk those feet back, hands on the chair, walk those feet back, creating sort of an upside down L or a chair dog position. Your arms can be straight, they can also be bent. Your torso can be lifted. Your legs can be straight, your legs can be bent. Whatever works for you, just try and stretch the backs of the legs some, as well as the shoulders. And then coming up. So what's really interesting about this exercise is it's really easy if you allow your body to cheat. And it can be really hard if you force yourself to really find those positions, or sometimes feel so impossible to find those positions that you think, oh, there are some areas I need to stretch. In which case, come to yoga class and we'll stretch those spots a little more. All right, so we're gonna do that again. So we'll stand on that left foot. Hands are supporting you on your chair, table, wall. And then we bend that right knee. Knees are next to each other. Actually, bring the leg down. Notice what your back does when you bend your knee. And then bring the foot down. Notice if you do anything in your spine to bend the knee. Try not to let the spine get involved and then bend the knee. Let your tail tuck under. This is not how I want you to live at all times. This is just for the sake of the exercise. So you're gonna let your tail tuck under. So instead of letting that booty be out, that tail tucks under, pubic bone moves towards the belly button. Knees stay next to each other. So I just noticed myself there when I brought the pubic bone towards the belly button, my right knee shot forward. So noticing, what does your body like to do? Then you can bend the knee more if you'd like. If you're not feeling it, really think, am I tucking my tail? Are my ribs relaxed? Or am I thrusting my ribs forward? Am I letting that pubic bone pull towards the belly button? Am I bending my knee enough? Are my knees next to each other? And you just keep cycling through all of those cues to find this position. Whew, release, shake it off. And we'll try the other side. And then it's the last time we're doing that today. So we're standing on the right foot, bending the left knee. Noticing again, do that a few times. Notice what happens when you bend the knee. Does the knee come forward? Does your tail untuck? Do your ribs pop forward? What happens when you're trying to move just your leg to the rest of the body? What in the rest of the body is happening when you move just your leg? Or when you're trying to do that? And then bend the knee, keep it bent. Reorganize yourself. Knees are next to each other. Tail drops. Pubic bone to belly button. So you should feel your abdominals working to help you here. Ribs are relaxed. Knee is as bent as you'd like. And then recycle through those same things. Knees next to each other. Tail is dropped. Pubic bone to belly button. Ribs relaxed. Breath is smooth. Woo. Release. Shake it off. We'll go back to that upside down L. Hands on your support. Walk yourself back. Again, feel free to bend any parts of the body that need it. All right, and then we'll come on up. Shake it off. Okay, let's reach those arms up towards the ceiling. We don't have any weight yet. We are going to add weight later as an option. Go ahead and side bend to one side. And notice what your body does, right? You don't even need to change anything yet. Come back to center, side bend to the other side. So there are a couple different ways we could side bend. So let's do one way where we let the hips move. So we'll move, I'll mirror you. Move the hands to the right. Let your hips go to the left. So you're letting the pelvis and the legs move. So that's one way to move. Not wrong, not right. It's just one way. Coming up. And then go the other way. So hands go to the left, torso goes to the left, but you're going to let those hips move to the right. So feeling that you can move your spine and your arms with your pelvis and then come back up. Let those arms come down for a moment, give them a break. Right? We're not used to having our arms overhead for a long period of time. Okay, arms come back up. Now pelvis stays still. So don't let that pelvis shift side to side. Don't let it move. It's gonna wanna move. Don't let it move. Side bend with just the arms and the upper body or the spine and the torso. So the range of motion will probably feel smaller. And you can always check, am I doing it? By letting your hips go out to the side and then bringing the hips back. Come back up to center. Again, trying to keep those legs still and the pelvis still, side bend. Don't let the hips move, not yet. And then let the hips go out to the side to test. Did I actually do this without moving my hips? Then bring those hips back. As you maintain that side bend, come up, whew, and relax, release. There are a couple more bits to that to pay attention to before we add weight. So we did that pure side bend of the torso. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep the hips out of it. That way we're working our core a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with moving the hips. We're just gonna try and do it without moving the hips. Now I want you to pay attention to whether or not you are flexing, which is rounding, or extending your spine. We're gonna try and keep a neutral spine, as well as if you are twisting your spine. We're also going to try and avoid that. So we're going to try and avoid any other motions of the spine aside from the side bending. So we're doing the side bend or the lateral flexion with no twist and no hunch or arch, okay? One way to do this is to go against a wall. I'm not going to do that today just for the sake of time. We've been doing a lot of different things, but you could always go against a wall and that'll give you a lot of feedback on whether or not you're moving away or twisting in some way. Arms come up, hips stay still. Find that truly pure side bend to one side. Pause and notice, are you twisted in any way? If you can see your Zoom screen, maybe you can see yourself and notice. Or are you thrusting? This is really one of the most common, is pushing your ribs forward. I'll give you a side view because it's hard to tell. So here I am in a pure side bend, and then here I am thrusting my ribs forward. We want to let those ribs stay in line with the rest of the body. Come on back up. Whew. Other side. So side bend, pause, and notice. Are you rotating? So I have a tendency on this side to rotate a little bit. You rotating? Are you thrusting? Are you arching? Are your hips moving? Come on up, whew, and lower the arms. We're only going to do that one more time. You can grab a weight if you'd like. Our arms are heavy, especially as we straighten those arms. So if what we were doing was enough, stick with that. If you'd like, you can grab one of your weights or two of your weights. I'm just going to grab one and reach those arms overhead. From there, just reaching those arms overhead, watch that you're not doing this to reach those arms overhead. Because once we add a weight, it can be hard. So it might mean that your elbows need to be a little bit bent or your arms need to be a little bit forward. Then go ahead and find that pure side bend. No twisting, no arching. You might feel more work along the side of the body here. And then on your next exhale, lift yourself back up. And then we'll go to the other side. So side bend. Notice what you feel. No twisting, no arching. Hips are still. On your next exhale, bring yourself back up. And then lower the arms down. Whew. Okay, we're going to go back to something we did earlier, something familiar. You're going to grab both of your weights. So the third set of these bicep curls, nice and simple. So this is your time to catch your breath, let your brain go a little bit, right? We do these quite a bit, so they feel a little easier. It's time to just let your brain reset. If also what you need is to just sit for a minute and breathe, that's fine too. Jaw is relaxed. Couple more. Right. Back to our sumo squats. So we've done these as well, third time around. Hands come by the chest if you have your weights if you want them. Legs go wide, wider than the shoulders. Toes can point out. We inhale, bend the knees, hips go back, and straighten. Keep going. Maybe one or two more. Great, coming all the way up. Lower those arms, shake out those legs. Let's put those weights off to the side. We're gonna do some calf work now. Just because we did a lot of balance work, we're sort of primed to do balance. So we're gonna do some calf raises. And we're gonna have our hands on our chair. If that's not accessible, hands on the table. Your other option would be back to the wall. We did this last time with heel raises, so you do have that option to bring your back to the wall for heel raises. From here, toes, all 10 toes are facing forward. I have a little separation between my feet, anywhere from like 4 to 6 inches is about right. And we'll do our heel raises here. So heels come up and back down. It's up to you how high you go. You can be holding on. If you need more challenge, you can always let go of your support. We're not going to go as far in depth as we did last time with the heel raises. We're just doing simple 2-footed heel raises with the chair, with the wall, or with nothing at all. What I like about the wall is it allows you to put your weight a little bit back, so the backs of the legs will fire up a little more. So that's why that's a nice option. Watch that those knees are facing forward, that they're not knocking in or out. Let's do 2 or 3 more. All right. And then let's give ourselves a calf stretch. Step your right foot back behind you, anywhere from 1 to 3 feet back. Keep holding on to your support. So make sure that you step back while your hands are close and your body is close to your support or your wall. And then step your right foot back 1 to 3 feet back and bend your front knee. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Jaw is relaxed. You can always have a peek at your back foot and notice if it's turning in any certain direction. Does it turn out or in? Is it possible to have your foot face straight forward, or is it always going to have to turn out? Does that change the stretch if you move where your foot is positioned? And we'll step forward, switch sides, other leg steps back, 1 to 3 feet back. Both heels flat on the ground, front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Breath is smooth, jaw is relaxed. And then stepping forward. We're doing another set of heel raises with a twist if you'd like. So you can repeat what we already did. Or if you want, you're going to do it with your knees a little bit bent. So hands can be supporting you on your table, chair, or wall. All 10 toes face forward, and then you're going to bend those knees. Now this knee bend is a plie and not a squat, right? So this is where we have our head over our hips. And then you're going to do your heel raises there. The knee bend will change, right? It'll increase a little as you lift those heels, but not a lot. So that is an add-on if you'd like. Otherwise, do your heel raises with straight legs. This is probably gonna feel hard. Notice if you start to roll your weight to the outer parts of the feet. Try and keep that weight more centered, the center of the ball, or even towards the inner part of the foot, towards the big toe side of the foot. You might find some shakes here. Watch those knees, watch that those knees don't knock in to try and create different kind of stability. Keep those knees tracking straight forward. Couple more. Might feel those thighs working as well. All right, last one. Heels down, straighten those legs. Woo. Walk yourself back, upside down L. Again, any variation that you like. I'm gonna pedal out my feet here. So if you want, if you're in your upside down L, you can bend one knee and then the other, so alternating. If that doesn't feel good, don't worry about it, skip it, and just hold. Two more breaths. Maybe straighten out both legs or bend both knees, so find some symmetry for a moment. Lift your torso up, walk yourself forward. Woo. Shake out those arms, shake out those legs. Find a nice standing tall position. Inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling, reaching tall, really take up space. Exhale, arms lower back down. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, lower back down. One more. Inhale, circle out and up. And exhale, lowering down. Awesome work, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. As always, great to work out with you. We did a lot today, and we did a lot of different things today, or things we've done in the past, but a lot of maybe things that are generally new for you. So we have time now to chat and ask questions. I'll just jog your memory on what we did. We did some eye movement stuff with that rotation, which was maybe interesting for you. I'd love to hear how that went. And then we did that balancing, and then we worked on those hamstrings, trying to keep our pelvis and our ribs still while we're moving our legs. So lots of stuff today. Let's see, I'm gonna open up the chat here, see if there's anything. Okay. I'm here, let one more logistical thing and then I'll open it up to you. I'm here on Wednesday. And then Caro, some of you have met her. She's gonna teach for a couple of sessions and then I'll be back. So do come to those sessions. She's looking forward to seeing you. And I will be here on Wednesday, so I hope to see you then as well. And now you can unmute yourself or go to the chat, share any questions, thoughts, feelings. You can also change your view to gallery and then you can see other people.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Pam, I can hear you.
Oh, good. This was my first time here. I loved it. Loved it. So I plan on coming. I walk every day for 15 to 20 minutes, and I thought I was in pretty good shape. So this is going to be terrific. And my daughter does Feldenkrais therapy, and she told me make sure that I roll my shoulders every day. And it was difficult for me to it was really excellent. And I wanted to tell you, my son-in-law has a PhD with I don't understand, with the eyes. He's working on something also for one of those, those companies, a startup. So
Mhm.
something with the eyes and the brain. I don't understand it. I don't have the PhD. But I wanted to thank you very much. I love this. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do. Thank you very much. And you're
Thanks so
so
much.
young. How old are you?
How old am I? I am 32.
You look like you just graduated high school. You are so beautiful. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you.
I plan on coming on Wednesday and Friday. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pam. Thank you so much for those kind words. Also, I'd love for anyone else to tell me that I look like I just graduated high school.
I know. It's the best compliment a woman can get.
Well, I'll just piggyback if no one else has questions yet. Pam mentioned the Feldenkrais, and actually Feldenkrais is one of the people who really popularized, or one of the movement ideas that really popularized using your eyes when you're moving the rest of the body, and how the eyes can really encourage the rest of the body to move further. So I thought that was really fun that you mentioned that, and that we actually did eye movements today.
Ah, great.
Hey, Adra,
Hi,
Ross here.
Ross.
I wanted to mention that, regarding the Feldenkrais, that a third level that I wound up feeling I was actually doing was that when you're giving instructions and we're doing, the twist to the left or the right, and then the eye movement, etc. Sometimes I do the movement exactly like you, but then I have to look back and watch you. So then I'm doing the twisting, but I have a stationary head looking at you, but I'm doing the twisting, and then I go back to the other, and then it's a whole different feeling. So it's part of the warm up whenever I do skiing, is that you have to look down the hill or something like that, and then your twist, and then whenever you release yourself to do the head movement, turn your head at the same time you turn, all of a sudden, again, you find that you can move that much more, or it's the balance that you're talking about, because you feel, just so balanced. And then together with the other exercises you've done today, I just feel like I'm getting ready to go out on the ski slopes, because you're going right through the routine of warming up those essential body parts for the dynamic ski position. Thanks, Adrian.
Uh, Thanks, Ross. Yeah, thanks for mentioning all of that. I'm gonna just recap one of the things you said, because someone might have missed it, and it's an interesting thing that you mentioned. So Ross was saying how when we do the twist, right, we can move our head with the body, but then what he sometimes does is actually move the head back to look at the screen, which is actually, it is an exercise as well. It's a really interesting exercise because we're twisting in two opposite directions within our spine, and then he lets the head go again. And sometimes that actually allows you to go further. So when we twist one way and then let the head look forward versus then moving the head back. So I think that's what just an interesting piece of what Ross was mentioning. Also, I think I noticed Zoom does something when you do, I'm gonna just test it. If I do this to Zoom, yeah, do you see that Zoom just like creates all sorts of things? Now it's made like fireworks behind my head. Or if I just do that, is it just gonna give me a thumbs up? No, or that? I don't know. But did other people see those fireworks on my image when I did the two thumbs up? Or is it just visual for me?
I saw it.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I I didn't ask Zoom to do that.
Well, it makes you look even younger.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll take it then. Uh-oh.
Oh, we got our whiteboard. Bernie's showing us his whiteboard.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Any other questions, thoughts, or feelings? The calendar is in the chat as well, if anyone's curious.
I noticed many more men today in the group. It's like they like all this physical part, whereas the yoga, it seems like it's many more women in it. So to each his own, so to speak. But I feel the advantages of both, and I'm really feeling it today. Ow.
Yeah, I think they're a good complement. It's good to do both. Good to do a little more
Yeah.
stretching and relaxation, and good to try and do something that's also a little more heady because I tend to explain things a lot further when we're teaching the functional fitness. Okay, well, have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Wednesday. We're doing functional fitness again on Wednesday. So functional fitness again on
Very good.
Wednesday.
Very good.
And then Carol will teach a couple of classes. She'll be teaching yoga, and then I will be back at the end of the month. Great to have you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye.